Begin transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sunday Hangout. I'm Bill, and this is Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Going to be doing this one by myself tonight. Today I don't have any co-hosts with me. Joneser's out and down for the count right now. He is sick. Let's give him some good thoughts and prayers. I hope he gets better. Sir Clifton's got his own problems, and we're praying for him and hope he's getting better. Let's see who has showed up today in the chat here. We got Shaitan's Hammer. He was here first. Hey, Shaitan, good to see you, man. And then Boba Hicks came in, and then Mr. Benny is here. Hey, how you doing? And Boba asks, where does your lap go when you stand up? It goes away. That's where it goes. It goes away. What am I going to do today? Well, we're going to just have a leisurely hangout and enjoy ourselves today. Don't really have any toys to show off. I've got some stuff on its way. I'm hoping to get my Class 10 Terratub here in a few days. Phantasm Toys just told me that that's shipped out. So when that gets here, we'll be taking a look at that here on the show. But otherwise, I don't have anything new to show off. But what we did do last couple of nights, we've done some late night shows, and I did some late night bumpers and commercials for those that people seem to enjoy. So I thought that I would make some toy commercials for today, and we would enjoy watching those. And that's what I'm going to do. So I need to get some coffee down here. I need to get it going so I can get myself ready to enjoy myself. And I've got a bunch of commercials, and we're going to go through them right now. I have 7 commercial breaks set up, and an 8th one just uploaded. And let me get it into position. Now, some of these we've seen before here on the show, and the last 3 breaks are going to be brand new. But we're going to start with the first one, and we're just going to go right on down the line. And the first one's pretty short, and they progressively get larger, and then the last one is a little smaller. I finally figured out that a standard commercial break back in the day was about 5 minutes long. It really was. And it had about 4 to 5 commercials in it, including the station identification. And so we'll look at these. Old ads are great. They are. And these will bring back some member berries for you guys. And I did a lot of stuff that you guys I think will appreciate. So this should be a lot of fun. So we'll start with the first. This commercial break here is one of the first commercial break compilations that I ever made for this channel, and it was shown way back in the day. I haven't shown it very much since then, and let's just go ahead and get it started while I run go get some K-Cups and make myself some more coffee.
And now these messages.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
He-Man.
Here's He-Man, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
You're doomed, He-Man.
Oh, yeah? Watch this action, Dad. Now I have the power.
He-Man and Skeletor each sold separately. Castle Grayskull also sold separately from the Masters of the Universe collection from Mattel.
As evening approaches Toothopolis, so do the cavity creeps.
Oh, no! Cavity creeps!
Hurry, the crest's up.
Cavity creeps spotted.
We make holes in teeth.
Christmas florist can will fix them.
Not crest!
Yay! Crest!
Watch treats,
See your dentist.
and fight the cavity creeps like the Crest team.
Fight cavities with Crest.
And that was just 2 commercials in that one, it looked like. And so that was our first commercial compilation break. Let's see what everybody has to say about those, and then we'll go to the next one. Oh, World Made of Cardboard's made it in. Hey, what's going on, John? Good to see you here. And a nice test model of Grayskull. And Bo Hicks, watch out for those cavity creeps. All right. All right, so we're going to hit the next commercial break. This one is a little longer. It was my second commercial break that I made here for the channel. And when we get to the 5th one now, the 5th commercial break, that's going to be the one that I just started to created today. And if you guys are up for it, we may even show some of the commercial breaks that I showed on the late night shows. Now, those contain more than just toy ads. They contain ads from back in the day, 70s and 80s ads that are pretty iconic. But let's go to the second commercial break and check it out, guys.
And now these messages.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. Impossible. The Hall of Justice under attack. Batman behind bars. New from Kenner's Superpowers Collection. Hall of Justice playset. Some assembly required. Vehicles and figures sold separately.
Who's the trapdoor, Batman?
Brainiac's taken over the computer. Joker in the elevator. Evil forces joining for a final assault. Who can restore order?
Superman!
Can Superman save the Hall of Justice? You decide.
Behind its wall of beautiful teeth, Toothopolis is under constant siege by the Cavity Creeps.
We make holes in teeth.
Cresty, look! Crest team, the Cavity Creeps are coming.
We'll fight them with Crest's fluoride.
That Crest.
Yay!
Watch treats, see your dentist, and fight the Cavity Creeps like the Crest team.
Fight cavities with Crest.
This toy comes with something that can really open up a kid's imagination. Its own legend.
He-Man! Skeletor is his enemy.
It's the Masters of the Universe collection. And for my kids, the legend begins here with Castle Grayskull.
It holds the powers of the universe.
He-Man, Skeletor has captured Castle Grayskull. We must stop his evil power. To Grayskull!
Defeat He-Man's forces, but leave him to me.
Here I am, Skeletor.
He-Man! Skeletor is getting away!
But Castle Grayskull is safe with us. Nothing's safe while Skeletor is out there.
And so the legend continues in this Masters of the Universe collection. And in the imagination of my kids. Look for it. It's new from Mattel.
Here are a few words about Levi's jeans and cords.
Hey, go straight. Okay. Go down. Go down. Hey, what? Go down. Get down. Go down.
I got it! You get it!
Levi's.
I'm surprised at you, Shaitan's Hammer. You didn't know that there was a Hall of Justice playset. There absolutely was, and I've got it. I've got it complete. I've even got the freaking landing ramp that goes up to the landing pad, which is the one thing that's always missing in those Hall of Justice playsets. Hell, I even got the box for mine. I ought to bring it back out sometime and show it off. I thought I brought it out and showed it off that time I did the Superpower specials, but I don't know. I may not have. Didn't know. Yeah, man. Absolutely a wonderful play set. A lot of play value. A lot of action features in there. There was an elevator. There was a jail cell to put the bad guys in, and it also doubled as a figure case. There were compartments in there that were labeled different things like rejuvenation chambers and stuff like that, but were actually compartments that you could put your figures in and store them when you close the case up or the play set up. It was originally going to be just a figure case, but they expanded it out and made a complete play set out of it. Big article about it over on Toy Otter. You ought to check it out sometime. Kenner, sir. Kenner did Superpowers, and Mattel did Secret Wars, Marvel Secret Wars. Now, we'll see a Secret Wars commercial today before everything's over with as well. And some of these commercials will repeat. I won't warn you that, especially in the later ads that I did, because I wanted to set these up as if they were actual commercial breaks. And sometimes you would see a repeat commercial in the commercial break. So that was commercial break number 2, if I'm not mistaken. So let's hit commercial break number 3.
And now, this message. The ultimate evil, Darkseid, attacks. His horde of villains spread chaos and destruction. But now they face Earth's mightiest heroes. The Superpowers Collection explodes into battle. It's Kenner's Superpowers Collection. Figures with power action, each sold separately.
Who's Batman's friend? It's Firestorm. Squeeze him. His power action will destroy evil. Evil like Calabac with his Beta Club or Desaad with his lethal shock machine? We shall see.
The Superpowers Collection. Batman, Firestorm, Calabac, Desaad, and other figures with power action, each sold separately from Kenner.
Introducing that king of fun, the one who's okay with us kids, the Magic Burger King!
In person?
Yay!
I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. Now watch me, kids, when I twist my ring like magic.
We're at Burger King! It's my Magic Burger King.
I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So I'll make a burger disappear, make it come back here. Turn apples into pies right before your eyes. Turn onions into rings.
As we can see.
Put a shiver in the shake. It's easy for me. I'm the marvelous magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So
you got fun for everyone. Burger King, yay!
Day after day, Toothopolis stands behind its beautiful wall of teeth, ever vulnerable to the cavity creeps.
We climb tooth, make hole.
The cavity creeps. I'll call the Crest team.
The siren. The cavity creeps must be near our beloved wall of teeth.
Yes, at the upper back molar. Hurry into the Crestmobile.
Crest, protect us.
This good spot for big hole.
We must fight the cavity creeps with our fluoride.
Take this, cavity creeps.
Crest! Drat that crest.
Yay! Toothopolis is saved!
The cavity creeps are a constant threat to every Toothopolis.
So you must fight with us.
Have regular checkups.
Watch treats.
And brush after every meal with C-R-E-S-T.
Don't pout, check it out. Zach's gonna show you what work's about.
It's the plop, it's the plop.
I am the future plop.
Without a job, without a job.
I am the future plop.
What can I do?
No need to panic, no need to get scared. You can make the future by being prepared. Ask what do I like to do? What jobs are suited to me?
I like to skate. I like to go bowling. But my favorite hobby is cutting and sewing.
You can get going, plan a business sewing. It's your job, your future job. There are many jobs you can train for. Seamstress tailor, costume designer, alterations, pattern maker.
I am the blob, the future blob.
It's no blob when you plan for a job. Don't be afraid, make a career and get paid. Do your job, plan for a future job, and you won't fear the mean old future blob.
And Shaitan's Hammer commented on the Cavity Creeps commercial. The animation is really good. It is. And I commented back. The Cavity Creep commercials were actually, the art was based on Jack Kirby. They were doing an homage to Jack Kirby art in those Cavity Creeps commercials. And they were telling a story as well. If you watch them in order, there's a story being told. It's not a beginning, middle, end kind of story, but there is a progression in there, and it's worth seeing. Gojitron has come here today, back when grown men in costumes as mascots and no one thought it was creepy. Oh, if we show some of the late night commercials, there's a Fruit of the Loom ad in there. If you remember the Fruit of the Loom guys, that I think that would be creepy today, but they were kind of cool back then, I guess. Good to see you, Goji. Glad you showed up, Carl. And then, of course, there was the last was one of those little PSAs that they would throw in at you. That was Zach of all trades telling those kids to get a freaking job and don't be lazy and don't be afraid to do your career and get paid. That's right, Boba Hicks, absolutely. And that was commercial break number 3. We're going to go into commercial break number 4, and we'll check it out. Now, this is the last of the original commercial breaks that I made for the channel, and then we're going to start with some of the new ones. And once we finish those, then we might look at some of the late night commercial breaks that I've done in the last few late night shows, including Up All Night. Here we go.
We'll return after these messages.
Here are a few words about Levi's jeans and cords.
Levi.
Levi's.
The citizens of Toothopolis remain ever watchful for
The cavity creeps! Chris!
We make holes and teeth.
Quick! Warn the Crest team! Chris! Cresty's trying to tell us something. The cavity creeps! Chris, come on!
Let's give him the brush with Crest's fluoride.
Watch treats, see your dentist, and fight the cavity creeps like the Crest team.
Fight cavities with Crest!
Imagine Eternia. Imagine the gate of fangs. Batteries not included. Imagine the soaring sky tracks. Figures sold separately. The cavern of justice. Imagine the power lift to the control chamber. At last, from the masters of the universe, the world you've always imagined can be yours.
Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonald land. Take along a friend and grab a hold of Ronald's hand. Follow Ronald McDonald through the land of apple pie trees. And don't be surprised if you meet Big Mac and Big Cheese. There's thick shake volcanoes, you'll even find a French fry thatch. Now just turn around and see if you won't find a hamburger patch as you're heading for a McDonald's in McDonald land, a McDonald's in McDonald land, a McDonald's.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. Hark! Batman being called to stop a dastardly deed. New from Kenner's Superpowers Collection. The Batmobile. Figures with power action sold separately.
Got you, Joker. Don't laugh yet. Release the war. It's a trap. Activate Batarang. Trouble, Batman? Not my Batmobile. Unleash phase 2.
Is this the end of our heroes in the Batmobile? You decide.
If Monday's sad or Tuesday's sad, make a Saturday.
That's a Sunday.
Wednesday rains or Thursday's gray, make a Saturday.
Looks like a Sunday.
Instead of half a banana and a pineapple ring, add yogurt creamy smooth. Pop a grape on top and that's a Saturday for you. Make a weekend treat any day of the week. Make a Saturday.
Now that's a Saturday.
Hey, I actually made that one time. I made it Saturday. It was a pretty good treat, man. Pretty good. And Melvor has joined us today. It says, dang, I love those old commercials. Good to see you, Melvor. And Gojitron says he'd buy a toy line based on the Crest commercials. Man, I would too. Wouldn't that be something? Absolutely. And Boba Hicks saw the Ronald McDonald commercial, and Shaitan's Hammer commented that those apple trees were creepy. Here's a point of fact. McDonald's Corporation had approached Sid and Marty Krofft about doing some McDonald's commercials based upon H.R. Puffin stuff. And then, after they had gotten some preliminary artwork and some designs from them, they said, "Nah, we're not going to do it after all." And then suddenly, the McDonald's hand commercials appeared, and they looked awfully suspiciously like H&R Puffin stuff. So there was a lawsuit involved. They had to stop showing them, but they drug it out as long as they could. And while it was dragging out, they continued to show those commercials. It's a long story behind that, but it's kind of neat. Let's move on down the line, see who else is commenting here. Rather have ice cream. All right, man. Ice cream's good, man. Makes me want to go get an ice cream bar right now. Maybe after the show's over with, I'll go down to the local Dollar General who has an ice cream container in there with ice cream bars in it and get me an ice cream bar. Sounds great. All right. Are y'all ready to move on to the first of the new commercial breaks? And I tried to bring in some just toy commercials in these new ones, and I also tried to do some toy lines that are interesting and may bring back some member berries and are not necessarily things that I'm collecting now, but things that I was interested in back in the day, even as a nearly grown man. Some of these are from the 90s. So here we go. We'll start with the first one. I think you guys will like this one.
We'll return to the CBS Saturday Morning Preview Special after these messages.
They're the A-Team. You know their shoulders of fortune. They're the A-Team. Helping people in need. Pretend that you're Hannibal. Murdoch or Face, or maybe B.A. Baracus. You know each one is an ace. Each is sold separately with right-wing gear. If there's trouble to face, you know the A-Team's here. They're the A-Team. The A-Team. Hannibal, Face, Murdoch, and B.A. Baracus. Each is sold separately from Corona Toys.
In the eerie world of deep, dark dungeons, mystery and magic seem real. There's good against evil with advanced Dungeons & Dragons action figures. War Duke, Kellic, Strongheart, and Bronze Dragon, each sold separately.
Beware, Strongheart. You will cast an evil spell and steal the treasure. Fool! Evil is no match for good. The treasure is safe.
Advanced Dungeons & Dragons action figures, Kellic, War Duke, Bronze Dragon, Strongheart, each sold separately from LJN.
I got it! Wow.
Here it is, the USS Flag aircraft carrier. Imagine being on the deck of this aircraft carrier.
The USS Flag is fantastic! It's so big! Forward there! Little monsters! Get ready to launch aircraft! Where's the Admiral? Not here! G.I. Joe! Fire! Restart Cobra! Joe!
USS Flag aircraft carrier comes with what you see here. Other figures and equipment sold separately.
Joe!
Half human, half animal.
Thunder, 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 yes.
Thundercats, Mummer and Lion-O, each sold separately.
I'm Mumro, want the sword of Gundera.
With this secret power ring, battery not included, you can make Lion-O's eyes light up. With Battlematic action, you control their swords.
Sword is mine, Lion-O. That's what you think, Mumra.
Thunder, Thundercats.
Thundercats, Mummer and Lion-O with light-up eyes, each sold separately. New from LJN.
They're unstoppable! But we're gonna stop them anyway! Send in the Marines! We're the Space Marines! Drake, Ripley, 8-Bone, Bishop, and I'm Hicks, armed with the latest high-tech heavy metal.
Look out, Hicks! The Queen's gonna crown ya! My bug rocker's on a roll! Bull alien attacking! Eat torch, bug brain!
Alien invasion problem? Send in the Marines!
Aliens!
Send in the Marines!
Space Marines! Aliens!
Your dungeon master has placed you in a dreadfully precarious position. You're playing the most phenomenal game ever created. Your skin grows cold from your first glimpse of the enormous beast. It's a product of your imagination. Survival depends on a quick, decisive move. Your choices are limited. Stand and fight, or run. Use your lightning bolt. Victory is yours.
Win the treasure.
TSR Hobbies, Dungeons & Dragons games. Products of your imagination.
From the
far reaches of the universe to Radio City Music Hall. The magic and fantasy come to life in the ultimate family adventure. The Masters of the Universe Power Tour. See He-Man and She-Ra. Meet the forces of Skeletor and Hordak. Will Grim prevail? See the exciting jet skate competition. See the spectacular Eternian Circus theatrical celebration. Opening live at Radio City Music Hall February 12th. The Masters of the Universe.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. What's this? The dam's about to blow and take Robin with it? Who'll stop the Joker and Luthor?
Aquaman!
Kenner's new Superpowers Collection. Figures with power action, each sold separately with its own mini-comic.
Aquaman's down!
Who can help now? A power ring, a power action punch.
Defuse the bomb!
Can this madness be stopped in time? You decide.
All right, we're back. Let's see. LJN Dungeons and Dragons line had some of the best monster toys it did. I had the Bronze Dragon mount. I had the Dexterior mount. I had the Nightmare mount. I had a Hook Horror, and I also had a Dragon, which is kind of a lion, dragon creature. And B. Pullman says, pity the fool. Yeah, the A-Team toys were pretty damn cool. And Super John recently got a A-Team van for that line, so that was pretty cool. And Bobby Hicks was enamored with the Alien toy line. Yes, they did do an Alien toy line. They were going to do a cartoon series that was going to be tied in with, and that cartoon series didn't get off the ground. But they had the toys already tooled up, so they hit the shelves. So yeah, and Gojitron, I'm gonna get me some R-rated movie toys. And we also saw the He-Man, She-Ra, Masters of the Universe live action show featured on there. And Shaitan's Hammer said that he went and saw that in New York City, the Power Tour. Absolutely, man. And I wanted to know, was it as fun as it looked? I just want to know. Yup. And there are some recordings on the YouTube that I've tried to watch. They are pretty bad recordings, which doesn't reflect necessarily how good or bad that the show was. It reflects on the person taking the pictures and the quality of it, but you got to understand it was probably taken with a handheld video recorder, which was, that technology was not very good at the time like it is now. Let's see what Shaitan says here. Chest bursting for kids. Yeah. They did have a face hugger that came with those so that you could put that on the figure. They did not have a chest burster action feature on any of the toys. That would have been kind of cool, though. I guess you can only go so far with that kind of stuff. Okay, so that brings us to commercial break number 6. And once again, I tried to curate some very interesting commercials for some toy lines. So check this out.
We'll return after these messages.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. Impossible! The Hall of Justice under attack, Batman behind bars. New from Kenner's Superpowers Collection, Hall of Justice playset. Some assembly required, vehicles and figures sold separately.
Use the trap door, Batman!
Brainiac's taken over the computer, Joker in the elevator, evil forces joining for a final assault. Who can restore order?
Superman!
Can Superman save the Hall of Justice? You decide.
Land Shark.
The mighty Land Shark will have Mechaneck for lunch. Yikes! And He-Man for dessert.
Land Shark vehicle, Skeletor, Mechaneck, and He-Man figures each sold separately.
Help!
Land Shark, Land Shark.
Help! He-Man!
Land Shark, Land Shark.
Everyone, Lockjaw, Land Shark.
Land Shark. Land Shark vehicle, new from the Masters of the Universe collection, not for use with some figures. Action figures each sold separately. From Mattel. Secret Wars. Marvel supervillains are coming. Secret Wars. Can the Marvel superheroes stop them?
Marvel supervillains and superheroes figures, each sold separately. Here, Doctor Doom and the Doom Platoon. Magneto, Dr. Octopus. There, Captain America and the Champions of Freedom. Spider-Man and Wolverine. Secret Wars. The secret's out. Dr. Doom and Spider-Man from the Marvel Secret Wars collection. Other figures each sold separately. From Mattel.
New Mr. T, breakfast cereal. The cereal with a dynamite taste presents Mr. T, talk number 1.
Hello, Mr. T here, and today I'm talking school. Getting an education. You just gotta have it, kids. So study hard, listen to the teachers, and learn something new every day. You'll be a better person. And remember, do the best you can every day.
Mr. T, the delicious, crispy sweet corn and oat cereal, part of a good breakfast.
But remember, you need the whole breakfast to do your best every day.
They strike like lightning across the globe. A Cobra force more powerful than ever before, destroying everything in their path to get the raw materials they need to construct the ultimate weapon and rule the world. But standing in their way, the greatest fighting force ever assembled. Bigger, tougher, and more determined than ever to crush Cobra with awesome new combat divisions. G.I. Joe Battle Corps. We're gonna knock you cold. G.I. Joe Ninja Force. You'll be seeing stars. G.I. Joe Mega Marines. This fight's really getting ugly. And G.I. Joe Star Brigade. We gotta stop meeting like this. The lines are drawn and the forces of good and evil dig in for battle. And this time, the battle's bigger than ever. G.I. Joe! American hero! All the explosive action in Marvel Comics!
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Attack the Autobot commander! Call in the Decepticon leader!
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Transformers from Hasbro.
To stop the evil Doomsday, you need a hero who's more than a man. He's been called the greatest, the strongest, the first among heroes. High-voltage villain Conduit is powered by kryptonite, but with Krypton cannon blasting, Laser Superman powers him down. Conduit will learn, don't mess with the S. Superman. It's the dreaded Doomsday, the most fearsome force in the universe. Even Doomsday will learn, you don't mess with the S. Superman figures each sold separately, blocks not included.
Stay tuned for the thrilling Dungeons and Dragons.
Look out!
Right after Saturday's Super K.
Isn't that cute?
All right, that was our commercial break number 6. And I was looking at the comments while we were doing that. That was a really cool live action G.I. Joe commercial that I didn't even know they had done. Question I have for the chat here is, how many of you guys have seen that live action G.I. Joe commercial before? I had not. War Made of Cardboard says, you remember those G.I. Joe commercials in Transformers 2? Yeah, the Transformers commercials were pretty cool. I've got a collection of those, so I've got more than just that first one that I showed, but I didn't put them in the compilations today. But maybe sometime in the future I will, because those are pretty damn sweet. I like the Transformers commercials. Shaitan's Hammer said, when I was a kid, I thought Optimus looked huge, but he really wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He was about, yay tall, but it was a pretty cool toy, and it was one of my favorites when I had it back in the day. Gojatron says, don't mess with the S, Doomsday, one funeral later. Yeah, the Mullet Superman commercial, the Superman figure line that came out right after the Death of Superman series. It was called the Man of Steel line. And a little piece of trivia, if you remember, there was a set that was released for the Batman the Animated Series line. It was also re-released again as Mr. Freeze's Chamber. It was the Joker's Toxic Lab. That was originally going to be part of the Man of Steel line, and it was going to be a Cadmus Project cloning tank, and it was going to be for Superboy, because Superboy was a clone of Superman. I do vaguely recall them at the time. I thought Cobra Commander was awesome in it. And he had his hood on. Did you notice that? It was the hooded Cobra Commander in that commercial, which I thought was really, really interesting. All right, now it's time for the last commercial breaks that I made today. And if you guys are up for it, because we haven't even gone an hour yet, we might get into some of the late night commercials that had memberberry commercials that weren't just toys. But here we go, commercial break number 7. It's a little shorter than the rest. I was kind of pressed for time, and it was showtime when I actually finished getting this ready and uploaded. So that's why I was a little late today. Here we go.
And now, this message.
RoboCop. Part man, part robot. All cop. The ultimate in law enforcement. RoboCop and the Ultra Police. The only cops with rapid repeat cap firing.
He's unstoppable.
Battling the worst criminals. Headhunter. And Nitro. The Ultra Police, protected by Robo Armor, bring RoboCop even more firepower. In the fight for justice, nothing can stop RoboCop. RoboCop and the Ultra Police, each sold separately with RoboCaps.
Splinter the Rat taught them each the ninja arts. Donatello, master of the staff. Leonardo, the katana blade.
My God!
Raphael, the
Don't
sleeve.
throw this at home, kids!
And Michelangelo, the nunchakus.
Radical!
And master of the willing pizza.
Hey, who had the pepperoni and ice cream? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
From Playmates.
It's Batman, like you've never seen him before.
Wow! Hey, Joker, a battering surprise! Missed me, Batman! Batjet, wings out, fire! I never run out of tricks. You'll need them.
Batman, the Dark Knight Collection, each sold separately.
It's the real Ghostbusters Firehouse playset.
Megman, our firehouse is haunted. No way. Oh, no. I've been gooped. Ghosts at the stadium.
The real Ghostbusters, each sold separately, assembly required.
Hey, buddy, see anything weird? It's Tombstone Tackle. Don't lose your head. Take a hike. There's a policeman. Oh, no. It's X-Cop. I can't believe my eyes. Whoa. We're not scared.
And Cool's teaming up with a good balanced breakfast.
Teaming up with Mr. T cereal. It's getting on the team that knows how cool breakfast can be. You get a crispy corn taste with a touch of brown sugar. Teaming up with Mr. T.
It's Cool.
Teaming up with Mr. T. Golden sweet crispy teas. One bite and you're gonna be eating with a team that's teaming up with Mr. T.
It's Cool.
Teaming up with Mr. T.
Well, that brings us to the end of the commercials that I'd done originally and the commercials that I'd done today that were toy commercials. And Mr. Poe says he would get by all of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. I never got into those. Those were a little after my time as a as a kid toy collector. And I didn't get into them as an adult, but they do look pretty sweet. And they're redoing the lines. They're out there in the stores. I've seen them on the shelves. So, and I do have one figure from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, and that is prostitute April O'Neil. I don't know what I did with it. It's around here somewhere. I showed it to Super John one time when I was on Super John's show. That's a figure that has to be seen. I don't know why it was even released. I could never get my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to stand up. All of those lines sometimes had a little trouble standing up. I know the Masters of the Universe line were kind of wonky to stand up sometimes, but we weren't standing them up and posing them when we were kids. We were crashing them together and making them fight each other with that boinky boink play. Susudio in the house. Hey, Susudio, good to see you. Glad you could join us today. So, who wants to see some of the late night commercials that I did for some of the late night shows? Now, those are interesting because I would put a toy commercial here or there in them, but they weren't all toy commercials. And we'll just start with the very first one that I did for late night. It also includes the late night commercial bumpers that were actually on the David Letterman's late night with David Letterman show. They had these funky commercial bumpers at the beginning and when the show came back on, and I kind of tweaked them slightly for my late night shows. But here you go, folks. We'll check out the very first one.
Fruit juicy. Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure.
You taste 7 kinds of fruit in Hawaiian punch. 7 kinds of fruit in Hawaiian punch. Hawaiian punch is made with 7 kinds of fruit for a one-of-a-kind fruit taste.
Hawaiian Punch Fruit Punch with 10% real fruit juice for a real fruit juicy taste.
Hawaiian punch is made with 7 kinds of fruit
For a one-of-a-kind fruit taste.
Get dope out your vein and hope in your brain. You'll never get nowhere smoking the pipe. Never. You want to get your lesson out and want to be smart in school? Get rid of the drugs. Get away from the in crowd. Get close to God.
Join Brother James Salton for Up From the World, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. here on WLMT.
A peaceful day in the Honeycomb hideout is suddenly interrupted by...
The Hulk!
Hey, Big Hulk, want big cereal.
Honeycomb, you better come through. Brace yourself, Hulk. Honeycomb's big.
It's got a big bite that tastes right.
Big enough for a Hulk?
Just try it.
Horse honeycomb cereal big and part of balanced breakfast. Hulk, go!
Don't forget your honeycomb.
Honeycomb big.
And it's got a big bite.
Last night I journeyed backwards in time to the medieval world of Dark Tower. In this amazing game, I had to find 3 keys, lay siege to the tower, and defeat the enemy within. Each move was a challenge. The computer kept track, giving me secret information, pictures, sounds, surprises. Then, ahead of my opponent, I made my move. The battle was joined, and I was victorious. Dark Tower.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
And Studio wants to see my reaction to the commercials that she sent. I haven't had a chance to look at them. I got the email, but I haven't had a chance to look at them. I will look at them this afternoon, and I will probably put them in my next commercial compilation, and we'll watch them, and you'll get to see my reaction to those. The Hawaiian Punch commercials are too violent for today's youth. Yeah, absolutely. The Hawaiian Punch mascot is a bit grating. Yeah, he can get on your nerves. Yeah, what, you don't want a Hawaiian Punch? Sure. Pow! And someone, I think it might have been Motu Joneser said that he got in trouble for doing that to someone when he was a kid. Did they still make honeycomb? Yes, they do. As far as I know, they do. I think I seen some on the shelf the other day. Haven't eaten any in years, though. Hulk's voice sounds familiar in that commercial. It does, doesn't it? Maybe it was from one of the cartoon shows. I loved that game. I did not have one, but a friend of mine who lived across the street did, and I used to love to play that game. And I wanted one here for the vintage toy collection here at the house. And I went on eBay to get one. It ain't going to happen anytime soon. First of all, finding one complete is next to impossible. Second of all, finding one that the Dark Tower actually still works, next to impossible. And the prices are out freaking outrageous, man. Now, someone told me that they were going to re-release that. I haven't seen hide nor hair of that. If any of you guys know anything about the re-release of the Dark Tower game, let me know. I would love to have anything that would be like that. That game was phenomenal. It was fun, at least as far as my faulty memory goes, and that does cheat. And you didn't travel back in time, Orson. You blacked out from drinking all that cheap ass wine. Wow. How many takes did it take for Orson to have a coherent commercial? Gee, I don't know. He was very notoriously hard to work with. And one of the things that he hated was for a director to say action. He would just quit acting and look at them and go, please don't say that. His preferred thing was to say, anytime you're ready, Orson, instead of action. God, what a dick. So after they filmed that commercial, they had to pick up all that trash. Yeah, the Tennessee trash commercial. Now, see, there was a guy, Avery something or another. He had a mustache, and he was a comedian, and he was on the Doritos commercials. And he would bite into the Dorito, and then everybody would fall down from the loud crunch. And in my kid mind, I thought that was him driving the trash car down the road, throwing all that junk and trash and littering up the road. I also thought that Bigfoot on Bigfoot and Wild Boy was the same Bigfoot that was on the $6 Million Man. So, that's how kid minds work. Didn't have Dark Tower, but I have Kabbalah. Okay. Sign you're an adult. Instead of honeycomb, you get bran flakes or shredded wheat, and not the frosted shredded wheats. It's got the sugar on one side. No, just the plain shredded wheat, and you don't add sugar to it. You just put some milk in it and you eat it. And it's like eating grass or hay. Ugh. But it'll make you regular, though. Absolutely. All right. Now, I'm going to play the next late night commercial break. Now, one of these has got the Crying Indian in it. And the Crying Indian is going to get me a copyright ID. It's not a strike, but it's a copyright ID thing. Because apparently the overture that's in that when he's paddling his canoe is actually copyrighted music. So I think this is all fair use, but I'm no lawyer. But let's take the next late night commercial break here, folks.
Look at this stuff. Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
There are 3 kinds of Life cereals to please all kinds of kids. Regular, cinnamon, and Raisin Life. Part of your family's nutritious breakfast.
This is Messy Marvin. His room is a mess. His clothes are a mess. The only time he doesn't make a mess is when he makes his chocolate milk. He uses good old-fashioned Hershey syrup in the brand new squeeze bottle. Rich, delicious chocolate flavor that only Hershey can deliver without making a mess.
Delicious.
Marvin?
Good old Hershey syrup in a no-mess bottle.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
So who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Each sold separately.
Have no fear. Becky, Steph, and Spangler are here. So are these ghosts. They've got ectoplasm. We've been goofed. Now what? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Let's show this pile of dessert who's boss. Activate Neutrona Blaster. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Peter Venkman, Ectoplasm, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and other figures each sold separately. Ghostbusters, new from Kenner.
You don't see many wild stallions anymore. No, you don't see many wild stallions anymore. And even if he did run off 3 of your best mares, he's one of the last of a wild and very singular breed. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Live from TV5, wrestling action, 11 o'clock Saturday.
All right. Messy Marvin is Ralphie, of course. See, Messy Marvin should get a spanking. I'm going to have to find some more of those Messy Marvin commercials. They also had a progression in them. And yeah, there was the Mikey commercial, the classic Let's Get Mikey commercial. Yeah, he won't eat it. He doesn't eat anything. Let's see, grape nuts. Ever eat a pine tree? Many parts are edible. Yeah, apparently, grape nuts are nasty too. Even if you pour 2 or 3 cups full of sugar in that, it doesn't help any. And don't eat grape nuts if you have soft teeth, because they'll break your damn teeth. Gross. And yeah, Messy Marvin was played by Peter Billingsley. That was, I think, one of his first forays into acting was being Messy Marvin on those. And he also played Ralphie in Christmas Story, which was also based upon a book. And the book is worth getting and reading. It's called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. If you can find that book and read it, it's worth it, because there's more to the Christmas story than just the Christmas part of it. And Mikey did not die from mixing Coke and Pop Rocks. No, he didn't. And that was an urban legend, as well as that the Marlboro Man died of cancer from smoking all those Marlboro cigarettes. That wasn't true either. The man who played the original Marlboro Man lived to the ripe old age of 90 years old. And yeah, there was the copyright ID strike that it's not a strike, but it's a copyright warning that I'm going to get for the overture that's in the Crying Indian. So yeah, there we go. You definitely don't see wild stallions anymore. I don't think there are any wild stallions anymore. Yeah, these are classic commercials. They just aren't there. Grape nuts can be used as spackling. Yes, yes, they can. Yes, they can. I guess I'm going to have to put a grape nuts commercial in one of these compilations sometime. Going back over here, I think that was the second late night commercial. So we're going to go to number 3. I have 6 of those, so we're about halfway done with the late night commercial. So we'll start the third batch of those. Here we go.
Girls, I bought a lot of underwear for my boys, and every year I pick Fruit of the Loom.
Surprise, Emma!
Hiya, cutie. I save every time I buy Fruit of the Loom briefs. Big value for your money.
Right on, only $1.
The Superband waistband, that's real quality.
That a girl, Emma.
For my boys and my money, Fruit makes the best pickings. Boys cotton briefs, only $1. A great buy in briefs.
You've taught your children to be polite and friendly, but have you taught them when not to be?
Hi there. Do you live around here?
Uh-huh.
You going to school?
Yes.
Well, I could give you a ride.
Last year, 50,000 children disappeared, many of them from nice, safe neighborhoods.
It's okay. Come on, help me.
Talk to your children about not talking to strangers, and do it today. A message for your child's safety from the American Medical Association.
I've discovered a camera, the Vivitar. It's a pocket camera with a great idea. The electronic flash is built in, see? Now my flash pictures don't have to be blurry or fuzzy because somebody moved. There's a sharp Vivitar picture for you. And here's the Vivitar. It's small, inexpensive, so easy. Nothing to attach. The flash is built in. If you want sharp pictures, this has got to be your camera. The Vivitar.
B5O. Come on, you guys. It's only a little.
A hungry giant.
Hungry for a big honey taste.
Big taste, honeycomb, big taste.
Honeycomb taste. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not small.
No, no, no. Honeycomb's got a big honey taste. Big, big crunch for a big, big bite.
Honeycomb cereal. Part of this big, complete breakfast.
Honeycomb's a big, big bite. Yeah!
There used to be more of us in the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, but a lot of our jobs have disappeared. A lot of the clothes Americans are buying for women and kids are imports. They're being made in foreign places. When the work's done here, we can support our families and pay our taxes and buy the things other Americans make. That's what it means when the label says union.
Look for the union label when you are buying a coat, dress, or blouse. Remember somewhere our union sewing, our wages going to feed the kids and run the house. We work hard, but who's complaining? Thanks to the ILG we're paying our wages will always go on the union label. It says we're able to make it the
WMC-TV, Channel 5, Memphis.
Now, what's it called when you remember something as being one way and it really never, ever, ever was? Like Berenstain Bears as opposed to Berenstain Bears. Yeah, there's a word for that. So one of you guys, Gojatron, I bet you know what it is. There's a word for that when you misremember something. When society as a whole collectively misremembers something. And yeah, I thought there was a cornucopia on that label as well, and so did Mr. Poe. And apparently it never existed. It was just the fruit. So interesting, very interesting. The Mandela effect. Thank you. Yes, it's called the Mandela effect. And that's because of Nelson Mandela. Because everybody remembered that he died in prison, but he didn't. He lived to be a ripe old age, and he became the first black president of South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's called the Mandela effect. All right. Let's see. Grape nuts can be used as spackling. Yeah, I saw that. And then there was the Creeper ad, and then the Andre the Giant ad for honeycomb. Those were pretty neat. So now it's time for the fourth commercial break that I made, and we're almost to the end. So we got two more after this. So here we'll start with this one.
McDonald's Big Mac. It's more than just another hamburger. There are 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. 7 great ingredients working together to make one great taste. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, cheese, lettuce, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the idea?
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
It's your McDonald's Big Mac. You've got to taste it to believe it, you know what I mean?
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
2 all-beef patties.
Let me say a few words about McDonald's Big Mac. It's
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
2 whole... Well, what was that word again?
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun.
Lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, lettuce, cheese, pickles, oh, what am I saying?
You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
Where your dollar gets a break every day.
From all over the neighborhood, adventure team members and equipment arrive for the opening of G.I. Joe headquarters. Flash, a radio message from the tower. Adventure team member caught in quicksand. Get the maps. Here's the location. Get going, Joe, and good luck. Back in the tower, Joe signals, help on the way. We'll help get there in time. Create your own adventures. G.I. Joe Adventure Team Headquarters. G.I. Joes and ATV sold separately.
Are you still chained to? Gotcha. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
Day after day, Toothopolis stands behind its beautiful wall of teeth, ever vulnerable to the cavity creeps.
We climb tooth, make holes.
The cavity creeps. I'll call the Crest team.
The siren. The cavity creeps must be near our beloved wall of teeth.
Yes, at the upper back molar. Hurry into the Crestmobile.
Crest, protect us.
This good spot for big hole.
We must fight the cavity creeps with our fluoride.
Take this, cavity creeps.
Crest! No! Drat that crest.
The cavity creeps are a constant threat to every Toothopolis.
So you must fight with us.
Have regular checkups.
Watch treats.
And brush after every meal with C-R-E-S-T.
Say hello to Pop and Fresh Dough. It's such a nice
Danish rolls just taste better when you bake them up fresh and hot. Try Pillsbury Danish in the dairy case.
It's such a nice feeling. Get to know Pop and Fresh Dough.
Mr. Cow.
Yes?
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I don't know. I always end up biting. Ask Mr. Fox, for he's much cleverer than I.
Mr. Fox, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Why don't you ask Mr. Turtle, for he's been around a lot longer than I. Me, I bite.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
WMC-TV, Channel 5, Memphis.
Yeah, earlier we saw the Fruit of the Loom commercial in the earlier set, and Jimbo, also aka Sigma here, had got us with a Mandela effect. You know, the cornucopia that doesn't exist on the label. And Mr. Poe says he thought he saw it. Yeah, everybody thought they saw it, but it's really not there. It's kind of like Luke, I am your father, when he actually just said, I am your father. Yeah, that's it. And the Big Mac commercial. The Big Mac looked very tasty. It looked fresh. The bun wasn't all smushed up. And even the hamburger meat looked better than it did. And yeah, that is the point of the commercial, to make it look fresh and good to eat. But Jimbo's got a point here. McDonald's was a lot better before they reformulated everything. If you don't know this, it's worth remembering. At one time, the hamburger meat that they used at McDonald's was actually fresh hamburger meat that they got locally from farmers and or meat processing plants, and it was fresh meat. It wasn't frozen hockey pucks like they put on the grill now. You can hear it clatter when it goes on the grill. No, it wasn't like that back in those days. Everything was fresh, and they tried to make it nice, but it like everything else that went away. Yeah, McDonald's was the best before they reformulated everything. And a 12-inch GI Joe commercial with playsets and everything. That was Action Team Joe. That was when they were transitioning away from GI Joe being a military force to being an adventure force. Dedicated marketing on the Crest commercials, yeah. And I commented earlier when we saw some of the earlier commercials with the Crest team in them. The art style was based upon Jack Kirby's. Yeah, we're all old. We're all getting old. I like salt, absolutely. I'm young compared to you guys. This is before my time, but I'm nostalgic for when America and our culture was actually thriving. They used to fry in beef tallow instead of seed oils. That's correct. The reason that their French fries at one time tasted the very, very best was because the French fry oil was made from beef tallow instead of the oil, vegetable oil, which is what they moved over to get away from the unsaturated, saturated fats or whatever it was. They use cloned squirrel meat. I don't know if they use cloned squirrel meat or not, but they may use some of that fake meat that they make now. What that shit called? Where it's grown in a lab instead of on an animal like it ought to be. Okay, that brings us to late night commercial break number 5, and this is the first of the last 2 of these commercial breaks.
Hey, this Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone.
Hey, what's that?
Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
You can broadcast in mono or with 2 or more radios in stereo.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing. It's practical and great fun for the whole family.
To order, call 1-800-257-1234. In New Jersey, call 800-232-6966. Or to avoid COD charges, send $14.88 to Mr. Microphone, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30357.
Pay attention, please, thank you. It's next day there. Very nice. It's next evening
Having no choice is no fun. That's why at Wendy's, every hamburger isn't dressed the same. You get your choice of fresh toppings, fresh tomatoes, fresh lettuce, fresh onions, cheese, bacon, and more. Having a choice is better than none.
Is next swim there.
Choose fresh. Choose Wendy's.
Star Wars. You and your children loved it. Now, the Earthlings at Kenner have asked my associate and me to present the Star Wars collection. Truly remarkable toys and games for your children. What are you so excited about now? My goodness, the Star Wars TIE Fighter and X-Wing fighter. Now your children can relive our great space battles or collect our wonderful Star Wars companions with Kenner's Star Wars action figures. R2, it's a little you. Kenner's new radio-controlled R2-D2 anyone can command. The Star Wars land speeder that moves like it's floating. And here's Kenner's Death Star space station, 4 floors of action, a trash compactor too. Listen, R2, that's the Star Wars electronic laser battle, a game of speed, reflex, and reaction. These and other toys and games in Kenner's Star Wars collection are sold separately. Batteries are not included. May the Force be with you and your children.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
You ate it, Ralph.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
No, Ralph, I ate it.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
Take 2 Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer neutralizes all the acid your stomach has churned out. For your upset stomach and headache, take Alka-Seltzer and feel better fast.
Did you drink your Alka-Seltzer?
The whole thing.
The taste of French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There's a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. Paul Masson's superb taste shouldn't be too surprising. This champagne doesn't come from France, but it was created by a man who did, Paul Masson. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
WMC-TV, Channel 5, Memphis.
All right, we're back. Good to see you, figuratively speaking. We're just watching some old commercials, and like Jimbo says here, we're just chilling on Sunday. Ozzy is here. Hey, guys, doing a bit of channel surfing. Well, surf on in, man. Enjoy. We're just watching some old commercials here. Funny the stuff that they changed since the 70s to make Americans healthy, and we just find new and interesting ways to be unhealthy. Absolutely. And I had one of those Mr. Microphones. Yeah, the microphone guy. Hey, good looking. You know, it's so cringy. Yeah. I had one of those Mr. Microphone things. You're supposed to tune in the radio to a certain radio station, and the microphone was supposed to broadcast through your radio. That thing never freaking worked. No, it did not work. And Ozzy says, make sure to hit the like and show some love. Absolutely. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Now, I have a feeling some of you guys are going up there and subscribing, hitting the subscribe button again after you've subscribed. Now, that unsubscribes you. Don't do that. If you're already subscribed, you don't have to hit it again. If you want to hit it 3 times, that's fine. But after you've subscribed, but don't, make sure that you don't unsubscribe from the channel. All right. So, Ozymandias, thank you for coming. Ostradamus, excuse me. Thank you for coming in and showing me some love. I like Salt says he remembers seeing Star Wars in the theaters in his teens. He's a little older than I am. I was just a wee lad of 6 or 7 years old when that thing came out at the movie theaters, and the Where's the Beef commercial. Ohick says you can't legally call it champagne if it's not made in France now, but back then you could. The law had not been changed back when he was selling that shitty, cheap ass Paul Masson wine. And they hired him because they thought that they were going to redo the brand and make it a more upscale brand. No, it didn't work. And of course, that ad was the actual ad that they made from all those drunk outtakes that we saw I remember Channel 5 News when I moved to Memphis. Yes, Channel 5. And a lot of you guys may be wondering what that sound is when it says WMC TV Channel 5. That is a steamboat whistle. That is a steamboat whistle because the steamboat was part of their logo, because Memphis was one of the big stops when you were traveling down the Mississippi River by riverboat, steamboat, back in the steamboat days. Yeah. All right. So here is the final group of the late night commercials that we did earlier for the late night shows. And if you want me to show any of these again before the show's over with, you guys let me know which set you want to see again, because we showed all the toy commercials first, and then we went through the late night commercials. So here's the last batch of late night commercials.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer had a way with B-L-O-G-N-A.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that?
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Sing with me. Perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. And the real I'd like to teach the world to sing. In perfect harmony. Perfectly. And I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. It's the real thing. What the world wants today is the real thing. What the world wants today is the real thing.
The world looks mighty good to me, 'cause Tootsie Rolls are all I see. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Tootsie Roll, how I want your chocolate chew. Tootsie Roll, I think I'm in love with you. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me.
She's been kidnapped by Cobra. We have no alternative. Call in G.I. Joe.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. He never gives up. He'll stay till the fight's won. G.I.
Who's leader of the Joe team? Buck.
He's America's best. He's in control. He's the man.
Good luck, Joe.
He lives his days with the legend of G.I. Joe.
The Legend of G.I. Joe. New from Marvel Comics.
Campbell's in the cupboards like money in the bank.
My kids love Campbell's vegetable soup. It's a good way to help fill them up, and the price is right.
Campbell's in the cupboards like money in the bank.
I found a luscious lemon chicken recipe on a can of Campbell's cream of chicken soup. The dish is inexpensive and delicious.
When it comes to saving, it's the Campbell's you can thank. Campbell's in the cupboards like money in the bank.
Mamma mia, that's some beast. Cut. Spicy meatballs, Jack. Sorry. Take 28.
Out, Tony, and action.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Cut. What was the matter with that? The accent.
Huh.
Cut.
Cut. Micey, micey, bossy, ballsy.
Cut. Take 59. And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer? Alka-Seltzer can help unstuff you, relieve the acid indigestion, and help make you your old self again.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Okay, let's break for lunch.
WMC-TV, Channel 5, Memphis.
And we're back, and that kid seemed like he was having fun with the jingle. He was, and I liked it at the very end. They kept it in there. He said, "Was that good?" You know, because you know he no telling how many takes it took before he got it right. But that's a classic Oscar Mayer commercial, and they always bit in the middle of the sandwich so you could see them getting the biggest bite that they possibly could. I think that was a question that was asked the other night. Why did they always bite it in the middle of the sandwich? Now, the question I have is in the peanut butter ads, when they did the peanut butter sandwiches, they never put the top layer of bread on there. They always had an open face peanut butter sandwich that they were eating like that. Why did they do that? Was it to show off the peanut butter? I mean, I always thought that was ridiculous. You can't beat a nice cold Coke from a glass bottle. A nice cold Coke with the original formula made with cane sugar in a glass bottle, which you can still get if your local convenience store is selling Mexican Cokes. And around here, we do have a few convenience stores that do. Now, you have to go down to the section of town where they sell shoestrings, Chore Boy, and the little glass tubes with the little rose in them. But, you know, if you can get past all that, then you can get you some Mexican Coke. And moving on down the line here, yeah, the Campbell soup commercial. I saw the vegetable soup, the alphabet soup is what I remember. My grandmother used to make the alphabet soup, and that would be what we ate for lunch sometimes when I was a little kid. During the summertime, you know, you'd come back home all hot and sweaty, and it was time for lunch, and you'd get a bowl of alphabet soup sometimes for lunch, which I liked a lot. And that's a spicy meatball. And we were talking about that commercial. That was a fail commercial because nobody knew that they were selling Alka-Seltzer in the commercial. They thought they were selling either the pasta sauce or the meatballs. And we were talking about that. I think it was last night we were talking about that, or night before. I can't remember. But anyway, that is the collection of commercials. Love to hear your comments on them. I know a lot of you guys were commenting while they were playing. Now, I do have a couple of other commercials that are standalones. I've got the Point Dread commercial and Snake Mountain commercial queued up here. And I also have a sea shanty here, T-Law singing the sea shanty, but we've all heard that before. But, you know, that's what these shows are all about, hanging out, having fun, and just watching the things that we like. Shaton's Hammer said, Scotch broth was my favorite Campbell soup. Scotch broth. I don't think I've ever had that. You can't get it anymore. Okay. I figured you were speaking of. So remember all those commercials. Man, you need to watch the replay, man. We've been showing commercials all afternoon long, man. Oh, yeah, the classic Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Time to make the donuts. That's going in the next compilation. Absolutely. Ozzy, I'm going to put that in the next compilation that I do probably for late night. Just those classic commercials. And if anybody can think of some classic commercials that I have not done that you would like to see me do, when this stream is over and the comment section opens up, go down into the comments and tell me which commercials you would like to see in the next group of compilations, and I'll put them in. Let's see. Carrot and Butterbean was Boba Hicks's favorite. The Dunkin' Donuts, man. Yeah, time to make the donuts. Cheddar cheese soup makes good dip for nachos. Yes, it does. We have Rotel. That's what we have here. You get the Rotel dip, and you get that cheese. You get that cheese that you're talking about, the cheese soup mix. And then you take the Rotel and you add it to it, and then you put that in the microwave and you heat that up. Man, I'll add some Velveeta to it as well and make it even more stringy and yum. That's it, man. And Nightbot is here to tell us that if you wish and it's your desire to see more content like I produce over here, please do consider sending a tip on Streamlab. This channel runs primarily on patrons and tips from the donations from viewers like you. Even if I do ever get to the 1,000 viewers and the 3,000 viewing hours, which I'm very close to, by the way, I still may not be able to monetize all my videos because of the way I produce my content. So I'm still going to have to rely upon donations from viewers. So please do consider that. I'd like to see some old KB Chow Warner and TRU commercials. Absolutely. And I'll be more than happy to put those in, Goji. And I once again, I implore you to put that into the comment section, or send me a message over on Patreon or over in my email, because that way the old brain here will get around to it, because I can't remember from one moment to the next sometimes, because it's like a sieve, the information goes in and then it leaks all out the bottom. Boba Hicks, Bill, do you ever worry that Nightbot's AI could become sentient and try to destroy us all? I'm not too concerned about Nightbot, but the Google bot, yeah, I think the Google bot's the one that's going to kill everybody. I think that's what our downfall is going to be, is that artificial intelligent freaking Google bot. That's the one that's going to get us. Nightbot, it's just an automated tool. It doesn't have any AI at all in it. You tell it what you want it to do, and it does it. All right. Back to reality for a moment. We've got some sick people in the community. We've got Joneser, who is having problems over there. That's why he's not on today's show. He came on and co-hosted for a little while last night. Had to take off because of issues that he's having, and he DM'd me this morning that it's even rougher today than it was last night, which he hopes means that stone is going to pass on through. That's usually the way it goes. It's steadily worse until it finally passes. So our thoughts go out to you, Joneser. I know that Sir Clifton is having some family issues over there. Let's please keep him in our prayers and our thoughts, and hope that everything gets better there. Grindhead Jim has been having some back problems over there. And we hope that Grindhead's going to be getting better. And Susudio has a birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Susudio! I'm hoping that you have many happy returns today on that. Susudio says, I'll have to watch the restream because I had to answer the phone. Dad called to ask me to dinner. Well, good. Go have dinner with Dad. That would be a great thing to do here on this Memorial Day weekend. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend and enjoying things. And tomorrow I get to be off on a Monday and have an extra day off, so I'm kind of happy about that. My wife had to go. My daughter kidnapped my wife this morning, and they're out having fun today, going out doing girl things, and so hopefully when she gets home, she and I can enjoy watching a movie together. So that's a question for you guys. What should I watch? There's not a lot to pick from, but the two movies that I know I've recently come to the streaming services that I subscribe to are, one, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which, to be honest with you, I'm really not very happy with those Shazam movies. Now, you guys your mileage may vary, but I do not like the way they have turned Captain Marvel into this goofball. Captain Marvel, to me, was an iconic character that shouldn't be turned into a laughing stock. And the other one is Ant-Man Quantumania, which I understand is really, 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 really bad. And I don't know if I want to subject myself to that or not, but you guys tell me which one of those to watch. I'll watch it and I'll do a review of it. Susudio is saying Thank you to Boba Hicks for wishing her a happy birthday. Susudio says her birthday is on May the 30th, and it's the same day that her mom passed away. Oh, what a shame. That's terrible. So you have a happy day with a sad memory in it. But I tell you what, if you and your mom had a good relationship, you can always remember the good times that you had with mom. Both of those selections suck very much, Bill. I'm well aware of that, Gojitron, but I'm willing to take one for the team. So that we can have me come in and do a review of them. Be prepared, though. It may be a ranty review. Mobic says, I watched Epic Badger stream on Ray Harryhausen movies, so I'm in the mood to watch those types of movies. Yeah. The what is it, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad? That was so good. Clash the Titans, so good. Shaitan's Hammer says, I understand Ant-Man is tedious in its badness. Yes. Melvor says, Master and Commander is free on YouTube right now. I haven't seen that one in a while. I'm going to have to add that to my list of I've got to see it at some point or another. At least you get Wonder Woman and Shazam for a bit. I understand she cameoed at the end of that, but was that really Gal Gadot, or was that a deep fake that they popped in there? That's what I want to know. I bet you money it was a deep fake. And that's another thing. So the Snyderverse is going away in its entirety. How many of the characters are actually going to move over, we don't know, into the James Gunniverse. But apparently Superman, Henry Cavill's character, isn't going to make it, and of course Batfleck's not going to be able to make it, and I don't think Gal Gadot's going to make it either. So they're gonna go unofficial deep fake. Mm-hmm. I knew it. And get ready for every cameo ever in the Flash. We're all going to go see that. We're going to see that. I know we are, because they baited us in with Michael Keaton, and we're going to run go see the Batman in the Flash movie, simply because it's actually a Batman movie with Flash in it. It's what they're making us think. I know it's going to be a bait and switch. He ain't going to be in it more than 5 minutes. It's going to suck balls and ass, and we're all going to be really, really disappointed and have wasted our money. I have told myself, and see, I haven't been in a movie theater since before the lockdowns and the coof and all that bullshit. I haven't set foot in a movie theater since then. Because why should I? I've got streaming services, and I pay out the ass for that, in my opinion, and I might as well get my money's worth out of that. And even the Flash movie, I'm not going to go see that immediately in the movie theaters. I'm going to be completely good and spoiled for that by the time it comes out, I'm sure, to Max. Used to be HBO Max, but now it's the Max. So I'll watch it there. There was an uncanny valley feel to Gal Gadot in Shazam. Imagine that. As good as it's got, all that kind of CGI wizardry still falls off the cliff into the uncanny valley at some point or another. Ain't got it right, and I hope they never get it right, because that uneasy feeling that you get in your stomach when you see something like that's your tip off that it ain't real. If they get it right so that you can't tell, that's when we have everything to worry about, because then you don't know what's real and what's not at that point. I'm not going to go see it. I haven't been to the cinema since 2019. Yeah, same here. I mean, I think 2019 was the last time I set foot in a movie theater. I have no desire to go into one of those. I have no desire to go through the hell of standing in line, listening to screaming babies, snotty nosed kids, getting stale popcorn, going in there and your feet sticking to the floor from all the crap in the damn floor. Oh God, yeah, I don't miss it. According to Chris Gore, the second half of Flash is good. Who is Chris Gore? I have to look that up because I don't know who he is or whether I should believe what he has to say. I haven't been to a movie theater for years since there was a problem with finding bedbug lice. Dune Part 2 is the only movie I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah, I saw the part 1 of that. It was okay. It was okay. You know, I've read the books, and no movie that I've ever watched has ever come close to Frank Herbert's books. Frank's books, not anybody else's Dune books, but his. Batman doesn't show up in Flash until hour number 2, so we have to deal with Ezra Miller for an hour until we get to the good stuff. But I heard Keaton is worth the wait. Very interesting there, Gojitron. Kind of leads up to what I'm thinking here, that the Batman is the bait, and Ezra Miller, we have to stomach that. I hate that dude, man. I hate him. I hope I never see him again after this movie, ever, for any reason whatsoever. Film threat on YouTube. Okay, opening notepad. And film threat, YouTube, Flash, movie review. Now I've got that in a notepad so that when this show is over with, I can go and watch that and see what he has to say. I hear Indy 5 is poop. Indy 5 is going to be poop for real. Of course, your mileage may vary on whether you listen to Doomcock or not, but I do listen to Doomcock. I'll admit it. And I think Doomcock's got it right once again on this one. The movie is a scrapbook movie. If you don't know what a scrapbook movie that is, that's where they take all these different ideas and they film them, and then they move them around in different ways in order to make the movie into a coherent whole. You can tell when it's a scrapbook movie, when it's just a bunch of scenes like that have been strung together, and you can change the order in which the scenes are in, because it doesn't matter, because there really isn't a plot to the movie at all. Yeah, don't get me started on Brian Herbert. And that's what I'm talking about. I ain't fooling with his books at all. Not at all. I remember seeing the Dune movie with Sting in it. That was an okay movie, but here's the problem with that movie. Dune is such a complex story and such a big, long story that I think it's impossible to film it correctly. There have been attempts. I think there was the Sci-Fi Channel tried it one time. That was marginally okay. This past one is a little closer to the idea, but the original movie was an okay movie. But the problem with it was you couldn't understand what was going on if you hadn't already read the novels. If you'd read the novels, you know, they touched on all the high points of the novels in that, but they had a problem with telling you how it got to each one of those points. So you would go, oh yeah, I remember that from the novel. Okay, I know what's going on here. And if you hadn't read the novel, you were going, what the fuck is going on here? So that was the problem with that. Though I will say that Brian always wrote me back when I sent him an email. Well, interesting. Chris Gore is very knowledgeable about the film industry, and he's an unbiased critic. If Gojitron says that he's worth listening to, I believe Gojitron. And Gojitron is one of my leading experts in my repertoire here of people who know things. So I'm, like I said, I've got it in Notepad, which means that I won't forget or you know what the name of the channel is and everything. I'm gonna go check it out. What about the canceled Dune movie? Was there a canceled Dune movie? Don't remember. Tell me more, Boba Hicks. I'm intrigued. I haven't read the novel. It's this thick. Okay, that's hard to get into a novel that's this thick, but this thick. But it is a very good read. It is. I would say it's almost hard science fiction in some points, but yeah, and there's a lot of exposition in that. And there's a lot of setup in that. There's a lot of backstory in that doesn't get told, and it has to be told in order to so that you can get into this world. Because Frank built a whole world in those novels, and the very first one, Dune, was the setup for all of that. The Sci-Fi Channel miniseries was actually fairly a literal adaptation to it, although some odd art direction. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's always something that's a little off on all of those, but I think that goes for about any movie adaptation of a novel. I mean, it's two different formats. You got novels, you got comic books, and you got movies and television shows. Each one of those formats is different, and it's hard to adapt one to the other without changing something around. Shaitan's Hammer says Dune is his Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, those were fairly thick books. I think the way he originally wrote that, it was one huge book, and in order for people to be able to digest that, he split it up into three parts, which is why the Two Towers being in the middle is kind of smaller and not as fun as the beginning and the end. But the Dune novels went on forever. I mean, there were a whole bunch of those. And I never got down into the last few novels that he did. I think I got the first three novels digested, kind of wanted to get into the others, but never did get around to them. My novel reading days are over. Used to, I could read a paperback novel in a night's time. I can't do that anymore. I get to reading, and 3 pages in, I've fallen asleep. A dude called Jaron Dosky tried to make a Dune movie in 1974, but they ran out of money before it could be completed. Okay, that was then before the one with Sting in it. By the way, the costume designs in the Dune movie with Sting in it were done by the same guy who did the costume designs in the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman movie. Some people consume Lord of the Rings the way I read Doom, says Shaitan's Hammer. Susudio says, I might be weird, but today's movies are so bad, I'd rather watch Waterworld. Oh my God. And I've seen it a few times, and now I kind of like it. It sounds like you've got Stockholm Syndrome there, Susudio. The later books of Frank's are weird, very weird. Yeah, it did go to a weird place, and it was by the time I finished reading the last Dune novel that I can remember reading, I can remember thinking that it had gone weird like that. Absolutely. All right. Let's see here. Well, we kind of covered a lot of things today. We watched a lot of commercials. And like I said earlier, I would love it if you guys would go down into the comment section after this is over with. Tell me some commercials that I haven't shown yet you'd like to see, like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, because that will make it much, much easier for me to make my next commercial compilation, which will probably be on my next either Up All Night or Late Night show. That's another thing that I'm curious about, and I probably might even do a poll in my community tab on the YouTube here. Do you guys like it when I do an Up All Night show on Friday night? Should I add that to the repertoire? Should it be a steady every week thing, or should it be a special every now and again thing? I'm just curious. Run into the comment section, give me some comments. If I do a poll on community tab, participate in that. All of these things will help me in the algorithm as well, and I would appreciate that. Back to comments here. Bubba Hicks says, Waterworld actually aged well and don't mind watching it these days. So are you telling me that it's worth a rewatch? Is that what you're saying? My problem with that is the science of that sucks buttholes. I mean, okay, so you've got a glass of water, right? And it's filled up with ice. You fill the glass up with ice before you put the water in it. If all the ice melts in the glass, does that mean the glass is now overflowing with water? No, no, it don't. So just because the polar ice caps all melt doesn't mean the whole planet's now going to be covered with the water on those ice caps. Just give me the 1930s Frankenstein Dracula. Hey, I got all those. Yeah, I got the original DVD Universal collections of each one of the Universal monsters that included all their movies in one DVD set for each one. Yeah, that was cool. The Fifth Element is my guilty pleasure, along with Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending. Is Jupiter Ascending that sci-fi series, mini series that was based upon a comic series with superheroes in it? What was that called? I actually liked that. I don't know why a lot of people didn't like that, but I actually liked that. And I never read the comic, but I did watch the TV show. And the way it ended, I thought it was going to continue, but they canceled it. Apparently, nobody else liked it. Fifth Element, very interesting. I know that aspects of that were based upon a segment that was in the original Heavy Metal cartoon movie. Tuxedo says, I enjoy the Friday Up All Night. I like doing that. It's hard to do because I have to come home from work and do it. And it means a lot of times I have to come up with material for it right before I show it. And it's pretty much just another version of late night Saturday night show. So I end up having to produce 2 shows like that. So it's kind of hard. So I'm thinking I might continue to do the Up All Nights, but they're not going to be regularly scheduled. They'll be specials. I've got a box set, The Creatures from Black Lagoon. I do too. Each one of the Universal monsters, they came out with a DVD set that included all their movies in it. And they were in like these green DVD cases, and I've got those. The Melbourne says that Fifth Element was a classic. That was Jupiter's Legacy. Jupiter Ascending is the movie with the Magic Mike dude. Okay. Bill, I'll send you some old Ireland and UK commercials that you might find them amusing. Absolutely. Hey, and while I was going through this, I actually got a chance. I had not seen it before, but I'd heard about it. I saw the car commercial that's got the live action kids from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon show in it. That was actually pretty damn good. I liked that. Now the dungeon master in it looked kind of creepy, but other than that, they nailed it. Mila Kunis is in Jupiter Ascending. Okay. Susudio says, I can't wait to see what you think of the Dingo Warrior and the Von Erich commercials. Yeah, they did that car commercial. I've seen that a long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to looking at those. And I might, like I said, I might throw those in the next compilation as well. I'm glad you emailed those to me because that way I'll be able to remember to put them in because I'll go through there and watch them and then add them into the list. So I love the old Kinder Egg commercials with the slightly creepy Humpty Dumpty. Put that in the comments, Melvor, because that sounds like something to add. The D&D cartoon kids make a cameo in the new movie. I've heard that. It's towards the end or something. They're in the maze, and it's like different parties are competing or something. And one of the competing parties is the kids from the D&D cartoon show. Of course, I haven't seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I will see that whenever it starts to stream. Does anybody know when it's supposed to be released to streaming and what service it's going to stream on? That I'm curious about that. Love me some crazy Dingo Warrior promos. Yeah, we'll have to show some of those sometime on the wrestling segments. The live action Dungeons and Dragons car ad has perfect casting. I agree, Shaitan's-Hammer. It was damn good. Dingo Warrior did Westway Ford and Von Erich Brothers did Pizza Inn. I remember Pizza Inn. I remember those places. I see the cartoon kids make an appearance. Now I'll have to see it. What's a cameo appearance now, Melbourne? Nobody wants you to subject yourself to 2 hours of trash movie just to see one little segment of goodness in there. But of course, I'm down for it, but I'm not going to the movie theater to see it. It's now out on Paramount Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus. I'll have to see if they got it on Vudu. Maybe they got it on Vudu for rent. It's on YouTube, ready to rent, I think. Okay. I don't do rentals on YouTube yet. Maybe I'll start. God, they're always getting my freaking money, and I don't have all that much money to spend like that. Those commercials are so cheesy. I love me some cheesy commercials, just like I love me some cheesy movies. So I'm down for cheesy commercials. Absolutely down for some cheesy commercials. Absolutely down for some cheesy commercials. Ark, I hear that it was time to feed the ducks. Well, guys, we had a good time today. We watched some movies. Tron says he liked the new D&D movie more than Ant-Man or Shazam, which isn't saying very much. Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm going to look in to see whether I should see that instead of the Shazam or Ant-Man movie. But thanks, Boba Hicks. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. Enjoyed it. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to me, please do. It will help me to keep this channel going. Please consider becoming a patron or sending a tip my way. It helps me to be able to afford to keep these streams going. And also, hit the comment section. Tell me some commercials that you would like to see played that I haven't shown already. Tell me things that you'd like to see me do on the show. Give me some ideas of some wrestling characters that you might like to see in future shows. And the Two Cellos video with Van Halen doing Highway to Hell. I'm going to watch that one as well. I might not show it on the show, but I will watch it in the studio. Don't you worry. And as always, I hope everyone has a good journey, and we will see you next time here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.